Hello, welcome fellow traders. AMP Futures here presenting another how-to video. In today's video, we are very excited to announce that TradingView Mobile application is finally readily available to use with AMP Futures. In today's video, we're going to demonstrate how to use the basic fundamentals of the trading platform so you can be well on your way in getting acquainted and learning how to get started using TradingView Mobile application. Now, before we get started, of course, before you are able to download and use TradingView Mobile with AMP Futures, you want to make sure that you actually have a TradingView account, which you create directly from TradingView's website at www.tradingview.com. We support all variations of TradingView, whether it's the basic free plan or if you're using any paid plans, you can use any version. Of course, also, you want to make sure that you have an AMP Futures brokerage account. As long as you have a live funded account with a minimum of $100, we'll be able to create a live connection using CQG in order for you to connect your AMP Futures brokerage account to your TradingView account. Now, right now, I'm going to be demonstrating a 28-day trial demo, makes basically paper trading or simulation trading with CQG. You'll notice throughout the duration of this video, I'm going to be mentioning CQG very often. Just so you know, CQG is the technology, the order routing technology that's integrated with TradingView with AMP Futures, essentially the technology that is used to route your orders to the exchange when using TradingView with AMP Futures. So, of course, if you want to be able to use a 28-day trial demo, if you don't have a live funded account just yet, you can go to www.ampfutures.com. Right on the homepage, you can see TradingView is one of the available platforms. Just click on it. It'll ask for some very basic information. Just fill it out, and you'll receive some demo credentials that'll allow you to log in to TradingView and kick the tires and see what the platform looks like, and also do some paper trading as well. So let's dive right into it, and let's show you how to use TradingView mobile application. Now, when you log in for the very first time, what you're normally going to see is basically a watch list. The watch list will look just like this. Now, one thing that I want to mention is TradingView will typically load a bunch of symbols that you normally can't trade with AMP futures. Now, before we get into the watch list, I want to kind of give you a general overview of what you're looking at on the screen right now. So it's very basic. With most mobile applications, you'll normally see a more of a condensed, stripped down version of the software compared to the standalone version of their software. But one thing that I'm pretty impressed with TradingView Mobile, upon me testing it myself, is there's pretty much it's almost the same thing as a standalone version that you normally use on your desktop or your browser. So I'm very impressed with that. Other mobile applications that have a standalone application on desktop, usually there's a lot of features missing. It looks a lot different. But for the most part, in my opinion, the TradingView mobile application looks pretty similar to the standalone application that we'd use on your regular computer. So that's a really nice thing, and that's a big plus that I want to bring up right off the bat. But the main thing that you want to focus on is you'll see those menu options at the bottom of the app. You'll see watch list, you'll see chart, you'll see explore, you'll see ideas, and to the right of it, you'll see menu. Let's just go over the menu option for a quick second on the bottom right corner. This is going to allow you to see what account you're connected to. When I say account, I'm referring to your TradingView account. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you got to make sure that you actually have a TradingView account registered in order for you to use TradingView with AMP Futures. If you don't have one, just make sure you go to their website at www.tradingview.com and make sure to create an account from their website. Then you'll see available brokers that you can connect to. I'm already connected to my CQG connection with a simulation account. You can get into settings. This kind of just gives you some basic settings, not too much as far as different parameters that you can change here. I mean, probably you can do, for example, language. I'm not going to get in there right now at this moment because I don't want to change the language, but right now it's defaulted to English. Let's go back by clicking the top menu in the left corner. And also, if you scroll down, you'll see at the very bottom where it says sign out, the red sign out button. So what that does is basically allows you to sign out of your TradingView account, but it doesn't disconnect. Well, essentially, if you sign out of your TradingView account, it will automatically disconnect you from the brokerage connection as well. There's a two-step process to connect to TradingView with AMP Futures. You got to connect to your TradingView account first, and then once you connect to your TradingView account, then you also have to connect to the brokerage account, which would be AMP Futures. So you can disconnect from the order routing service, which is CQG from AMP Futures, and stay logged into your TradingView account. But once you log out of your TradingView account, it will log you out of both connections. Another thing I want to point out as well, you'll notice that there's a theme there where it says dark theme. By default, it's defaulted to the light theme, which is what you see right now on the screen. If I click dark theme, it just essentially changes the entire theme to a darker theme. I'm going to revert back to the lighter theme is because that's how it looks like when you install it right out of the box. And that's the menu option. Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You can access your chats, you can read news articles, etc. The ideas are just, again, ideas that this is essentially a video that we're creating right now is an idea. So anytime you see, other posters or any moderators or anybody that's posting ideas, you can go to the ideas tab at the very bottom. You can see all the different videos that are being posted. So this is something that's a big strength of TradingView. TradingView is a platform that kind of integrates a social media aspect to it. It allows you to communicate with other users and really interact in the trading world. And sometimes sometimes if you're trading, it could be a little lonely, and it might be fun just to interact with other traders. And TradingView has done an excellent job in bringing the community together and kind of creating a social media platform integrated with their software, which you don't really see with other trading platforms. The Explore tab, what you'll see here, is just going to give you the ability to look at different markets that are being promoted, or not necessarily promoted, but just that TradingView is focusing on. There's different topics. For example, you see GameStop, you can see cryptos, you can see Dow Jones, just some, top stories, very popular news articles that are related to trading. And that's what Explore will do at the very bottom. Chart, pretty self-explanatory, is going to allow you to see your charts, and then your watch list is going to allow you to add the different instruments that you're tracking or trading. All right, so that's really the nuts and bolts as far as the menu option at the very bottom. And that's really going to be your bread and butter when you're using the platform. You're going to be kind of navigating through those different menu options. Really, if you're using the trading platform, the most of the menu options that you're going to be using is really going to be your watch list and your chart. All right, so now while we're on the watch list, let's go ahead and demonstrate now how to use the actual watch list. The watch list is nice because what it does, it allows you to add or remove any instruments that you may be tracking or trading, which easily allows you to access data for those particular markets. So right now you can see at the very top of the list, I'm looking at an E-mini S&P 500. I can see the last trade price. I can see the change since the open. I can see percentage of change. And if I actually click the instrument within the watch list, it'll bring up a little condensed chart. I can change the amount of historical data at the bottom where it says 1D, 5D, 1 month, 3 month, etc. Also shows total volume. We're in the after hours session right now, so there's not a whole lot of volume. Shows the settlement day when the contract expires. Right now, the front contract month is the June contract of 2024, contract size, and more. So again, this is the view that you see when you actually click the symbol within the watch list. And again, at the top there, you can see last trade price. This is live data, change for the day, as well as percentage of the change. To get out of this menu, you see the little tab at the very top there. Just simply swipe down and it takes you right back to the watch list. So let's go ahead and show you now how to remove symbols, add symbols, and organize the symbols within your watch list. So let's say, for example, since we're only trading exchange traded futures, I have no interest in trading. Let's see, these are actually all futures instruments. So let's try to find something that let's get rid of the U.S. dollar currency index there. It's the fourth one down from the top, DXY. We have no interest in looking at that particular instrument. So what you want to do on the top right corner next to the right of the plus sign, you'll see the button with 3 dots. If you click that button, you'll see edit. And now what you can do is simply select DXY with a little circle until you see the blue check. And now all you need to do is hit delete on the top left corner in red and then hit yes to the confirmation. And now you can see the instrument has been removed. Also, if you want to be able to organize the position of the symbol in your watch list, you'll see on the far right column, there's these 3 lines next to each symbol. So for example, if I wanted to move the micro E-mini Russell, which is at the very bottom of the list to the very top of the list, I can take my finger and grab those 3 lines and just drag it all the way up and just release it once I'm content with the new position of the symbol. And now you can see it's been modified. Once everything is done, you want to hit done, and now you can see how those changes have been applied. So that's how you organize the different positions of the symbols, and that's how you remove the symbols. Now let's go ahead and show you how to add a symbol. So adding a symbol is pretty straightforward. There's 2 ways of doing it. You can either hit the blue button at the bottom there, it says plus add symbol, or top right where you see the plus sign to the left of the button with 3 dots. So I'm going to go ahead and hit plus add symbol at the bottom, and then you'll see a search button at the very top. So this is a very important subject that I'm going to discuss. There's 2 different types of symbols in TradingView. For example, there's TradingView TradingView has their own symbols, and then there's CQG symbols. As I mentioned in the introduction of this video, we are using the CQG technology to route your orders to the exchange when using TradingView with AMP futures. So you have to make sure that you're using the CQG symbols and not the TradingView symbols. It's a very common thing that we get here at AMP futures. Customers will call in and they'll say, hey, I'm not able to execute trades. It keeps saying it's a non-tradable symbol. And there's 2 scenarios why this would happen. The first scenario is the one I just explained. If you're looking at a TradingView symbol instead of a CQG symbol, the other scenario is you don't have any data enabled for your CQG connection. This is required in order for you to route orders with your CQG connection with AMP futures using TradingView. So if either one of those scenarios are apply to you, this is the reason why you're getting that message non-tradable symbol. Now, let me go ahead and show you the difference between a TradingView symbol and a CQG symbol. So, for example, if I type in ES, which is the mini S&P 500, you'll notice there's symbols at the very top there that end with an exclamation mark. You can see ES1 exclamation mark, ES2 exclamation mark. So the rule of thumb is anytime you see a symbol with an exclamation mark at the end of it, this is a TradingView symbol. So the one that you want to add instead is the one that shows the contract month and expiry. So in this case, ESM 2024, which is the June 2024 contract. It's already added because you can see to the right, there's a little check there. So let's go over a different example of a symbol that's not added in our watch list. So let's see, right now we're looking at it right now. So I don't see the mini NASDAQ. There's the micro NASDAQ, which is the second down from the top. Let's add the mini NASDAQ. So I'm going to click the plus sign on the top right corner. I'm going to type in NQ. All right, and now you could see NQ1 exclamation mark, NQ2 exclamation mark. So that's letting you know that's a TradingView symbol. We don't want to add that one. Instead, we want to add NQM 2024. Notice to the right, there's no check. There's a plus sign. That's letting you know that that symbol is available to add into your watch list. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And now you can see it's been added to the watch list. We're going to hit close. And notice now at the very bottom of the list, the E-mini NASDAQ has been added. All right, so again, that's how you add symbols, that's how you remove symbols, and that's how you organize the position of the symbols within the watch list itself. What I would recommend doing is when you first log into the TradingView mobile app is you probably want to remove all the symbols that you have no interest in trading and just simply add the ones that you are interested in trading. Maybe not necessarily interested in trading, but maybe also tracking, because anything that you have interest in seeing, make sure you organize your watch list first, because if you don't have that symbol added into your watch list, you're not going to be able to plot a chart for that particular symbol. All right, and that's how you use the watch list. Now let's go ahead and move on to the chart area. That's the second tab at the bottom to the right of the watch list. All right, the charting is very simple with TradingView mobile app, very similar to the standalone application as I mentioned in the introduction of our video. The one thing that I want to point out first is if you want to get in there and make any changes to your chart, you can do so on the bottom right corner. You'll see the little button with the three dots. It's right above the menu option. So if I click that little button on the bottom right corner with the three dots right above menu, you'll see that you can have the option to go into chart settings. This is where you're going to be able to change background colors, grid lines, crosshair types, whether you want to activate a watermark, change the text, color, font, etc. Just make sure you go in there, make the changes accordingly, and click OK. If you just get in there, you want to be able to see what the settings are, but you don't want to make any changes, you can either hit the cancel button or you can just hit the X on the top right corner. Right? And that's how you make your changes on the actual chart itself. Now let's show you how to navigate through the chart. So first things first, on the top left corner of the chart, you'll notice the instrument that you're looking at. This is going to give you a visual confirmation of what chart you're actually looking at. So right now you can see this is a micro E-mini S&P 500 index futures contract. If you want to be able to change the symbol, as I mentioned before, you have to make sure that symbol is added onto your watch list. Bottom left corner, right above watch list, notice it says MESM 2024. The 4 is cut off, but it's the 2024 contract. If I take my finger and just simply scroll it, this allows me to switch to a different instrument that's already added into my watch list. All right, so it's as simple as just scrolling with your finger. All right, that's how you change the symbol on the chart. Another thing that I want to point out as well is how you know you're successfully connected to TradingView. Notice at the very top of the chart to the right of the buy and sell buttons, there's a little AMP logo there with the blue button with a man holding his hands up. If I click that little button, this takes us into the account summary section of TradingView mobile app. When you start trading, this is very important because this is where you're going to go to see the status of your positions, your orders. You're going to be able to see your purchasing power, open trade equity, total margin requirements, what account you're connected to, things of that nature. So this is important information when you're actively trading in real time. Again, to get to this particular option, the blue logo at the top, the AMP logo with the man holding his hands up, you want to click it, and it brings you right into the account summary. To close it, top right corner, click the X. Now, to be able to scroll back and look at more historical data on the chart, very straightforward. All you need to do is take your finger and simply scroll on the chart to the right, and this is going to allow you to look at more history in the chart. Whenever you do this, on the bottom right corner, you'll see the arrows pointing to the right. That's letting you know that you're currently looking at historical data on the chart. If you want to revert back to updated data and see real-time data and just basically scroll to current data, just click that little arrow, and it's going to take you right back to the current market. Otherwise, every time you scroll back to see more history, that little arrow will activate. And whenever you see that arrow, that's letting you know visually that you're looking at historical data and you're not looking at updated candles. So here's me clicking it again. It's going to take me back to real-time data, and now that arrow goes away. Now, if you want to be able to decrease or increase bar spacing, very simple. You'll notice the bottom time scale of the chart. All you need to do is take your finger. If you scroll to the right, it's going to essentially decrease bar spacing, which is going to make those bars look a lot smaller. Or if you scroll to the left, it's going to make the bar spacing bigger, which makes those bars look a lot bigger. If you double tap with your finger, that just resets the scale. Also, on the right side there, you'll see the price column. If you want to compress or decompress the price column, you want to make sure you scroll down with your finger on the right side price axis. This is going to compress it, and this is going to decompress it if you scroll up. So same concept. The only difference is you're scrolling up and down. You can double click with your finger on the right side there, and that'll basically reset the scale as well. Another thing as well, in the bottom right corner, right above the button with three dots, you'll see a little icon there. It's like a little, I don't know if that's an octagon or a little circle, but if you click it, this is going to bring you into the scaling options of the chart itself. So you can choose what kind of scaling you want to use. Also, you have the ability to activate or deactivate the countdown to bar close. You can see a little checkbox there. It's enabled by default. What that does is basically show you a little countdown timer there. Look, if you notice the last trade price at 58 or 53.19.25, whenever a new candle starts, you'll see that timer start to kick in. All right. Another thing I want to show you as well is how to change the time frames and chart types on your chart. So right now, if you look on the bottom of the chart, bottom left, right above where it says chart, you'll notice there's a 1M that represents 1 minute. So if I click that, this is going to allow me to go in there and change the intervals of the chart itself. Now, date range is going to allow you to change how much history you want to see in the chart. So for example, 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 3 month, etc. And then you have different intervals that you can use as well. You have second charts, minutes, hourly, daily, and also range charts. Now, if you see a chart interval that's not available that you want to use, you can go ahead and click add interval at the bottom. Just simply type in the interval and just hit add, and it'll add it into the list for you. So pretty straightforward. Again, to access this menu option, bottom left corner to the right of the symbol abbreviation where it says 1M, if you click there, that brings you into the date range and the interval sections where you can choose the different date range and time frames that you want to use on the chart. Top left corner, you have your buy and sell buttons. We'll go ahead and show you just in a moment how to place trades directly off the chart. That's pretty much, those are market orders. So the sell button is on the left side, which is the red button. The buy button on the right side, that's the bid and ask price. So right now we're at 53.19.5 by 53.19.75. And then right between it, you'll see there's the spread. So right now it's a quarter spread between the bid and the offer. And there's a numerical 1 right below it. That's your order quantity. So when you click on that, that allows you to change the order quantity, as you can see there. And of course, right above it is just the last trade price. As you can see to the right, the green highlight, 53.19.5, but it's also right above the sell market button as well. That's overall change to the right of it and also percentage of change. All right, so this is pretty much basic functions of the charting. Let's go ahead and show you now how to add some indicators and some drawing tools. So how to add indicators and drawing tools. If you notice on the bottom right corner of the chart, right above where it says ideas, there's a little plus sign. If I click that little plus sign, this gives me the ability to access different functions of the chart, whether it's drawing tools, indicators, setting alerts, accessing templates, etc. Let's go ahead and show you how to access or add drawing tools. Pretty straightforward. We're going to select drawings. And let's just use something very easy. Let's just go trend line. Once you select a drawing tool, if you notice at the very top there, it'll give you instructions on how to apply the drawing tool onto the chart. It says move cursor to start point, for example. So I'm going to do exactly that. You can see the cursor is on the chart. I'm just simply moving it with my finger. I'm going to move it to a desired location where I want to start the trend line from, release it. And now it says tap to set start tap to set first point. So I'm going to tap it, and now you can see there's a little circle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the cursor to the next point, which is step 3 of 4 at the top there. Now I can move it. I'm holding down with my finger, and once I'm content with the location of the drawing tool, I'm going to release it. I'm going to tap again to apply it, and now the drawing tool is actually on the chart itself. Now, if I want to be able to modify or remove the drawing tool, very straightforward. All you need to do is double tap on the drawing tool, or actually single tap, and you're looking for those circles to appear. So once those circles appear, now you'll see at the top there, that menu will appear there. You can see example, you can delete the drawing tool by the trash can icon, or you can click the little button with 3 dots, and you can get into the actual settings of the drawing tool itself. So for example, if you want to be able to change the parameters, the colors, etc. So this just basically brings up the menu option. Whenever you click on it, it's going to bring up that little menu option at the top, and this allows you to make modifications to the drawing tool, make the drawing tool thicker, change the color, etc. If I want to remove the drawing tool, I'm going to hit the trash can icon, and now the drawing tool has been removed. So that's how to add a drawing tool. Of course, there's different drawing tools that you can use. For example, there's Fibonacci's, there's geometric shapes, there's annotation, and more. All right, again, that's the plus sign right above where it says ideas. Same thing goes with indicators. If you want to click the plus sign, you'll see where it says indicators. I can go ahead and click indicators, and now I can go ahead and search for specific indicators. They're broken down into different category groups. So there's technical indicators, there's financial indicators, and there's community indicators. Community indicators meaning indicators that the community has perhaps customly made using PineScript. However, if you can click the subcategory groups and you can simply search for the different indicators, or you could just use the search button at the top to be quicker about it. For example, let's just say I type in MACD. Right? You can see at the very top there, moving average, convergence, divergence. The minute I click it, it adds the MACD right onto the chart. Let's get out of here. Now you can see the MACD is at the very bottom. All right. So if I want to be able to modify the MACD, you'll notice there, this is a subchart. So different indicators have different ways of plotting on the chart. A MACD is typically going to plot as a subchart. Let's add one more indicator. I'm going to go and click that plus sign right above ideas on the bottom again. Go to indicators. Let's do an overlay like Bollinger Bands, for example. So an overlay indicator is going to overlay the indicator right over the chart versus creating a subchart. So you can see in that manner, just like that. Now, if you want to make any modifications or remove the indicator off the chart, you'll notice, for example, on the MACD, right above it, it says MACD 1226 close. If I click on that, that activates that menu, as you can see there. So now I can click the X if I want to remove it, or to the right, there's the button with 3 dots. This allows me to get into the parameters of the indicators, and now I can actually change the settings. I can get in there, change the input, the style, the visibility. So anything you want to make as far as modifications, go ahead and do that and click OK on the bottom right corner, and it'll make those changes. Again, to access this menu, you want to make sure that you click where it says MACD, and it brings up that little menu bar there, and then you can click the little box, the button with 3 dots, and then you can go to the bottom there where it says settings, and that'll get you into the parameters of the actual indicator. To remove the indicator, you can click the X as I've done there. All right, now notice here on the Bollinger Bands at the top left corner, it says BB20. That means Bollinger Bands. If it looks like that, that just means that the title is collapsed. Usually you'll see an arrow pointing down, and it'll represent the amount of indicators that you have on the chart. That's an overlay. So it says 1 at this moment. If I click that little arrow pointing down, now it tells you what indicator is actually added onto the chart. Same exact concept. If I want to modify or delete the indicator, I'm going to click it. And then you can see to the right there, I have the ability to delete it or get into the settings by clicking the button with 3 dots. Go to the bottom, hit settings, and then you can see I can change the inputs, the style, the visibility, etc. Just again, make your changes accordingly. Click OK on the bottom right corner, and those changes will be applied. To delete it, you want to click the X. All right, so that's how you add drawing tools, and that's how you add indicators onto the chart. All right, and last thing I want to point out is how to change the different chart types. It's very important. Chart types are available on the bottom right corner, right above the menu option. You'll see the button with 3 dots. If I click that button with 3 dots, you'll see where it says chart type here. And you see there's a handful of different chart types that you can access. So for example, bar charts, candle charts is what's selected right now, hollow candles. So basically just choose whatever chart type that you want to apply onto the chart. So let's just say, for example, I want to add, let's just say, let's do something like a wrinkle. Let's do Heikin Ashi, for example. That's a Heikin Ashi chart. So on the bottom right corner, we're going to click that button with 3 dots right above menu, and we'll go back into chart type, and we'll change it back to candlesticks. All right, and that's how you use the charting with TradingView Mobile app. All right, let's move on now. So now I want to go and point out how to use, or better yet, some of the important things is how to execute trades on the TradingView mobile app. And the one thing before we get into that, I want to point out that I'm very impressed with how the order execution works with TradingView mobile app. I've used a few different mobile apps, and those are pretty good, but I very rarely see where you actually have the ability to place a trade directly on the chart and actually modify the orders directly on the chart. And TradingView actually allows you to do that, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. So first things first, you want to obviously make sure you have a chart open, which we do right now. Make sure you're looking at the proper instrument on the top left corner. We're looking at the micro E-mini S&P 500. And as I mentioned before, the sell buttons, the sell market, buy market buttons on the top left corner of the chart. It's the red button. Red is a color code for sell. Blue is a color code for buy. That's the bid and ask price. And then the first thing you want to make sure is you're executing the proper order quantity. So right now it's defaulted to 1. So I'm going to click the 1 in between the sell and buy market buttons. And you can change the order quantity just by simply changing the value. Pretty straightforward. You can just delete it, type in 2, whatever number you want. So we'll just keep it at 1 for now. And then once you're done, you just click anywhere on the chart, and then you can see it's 1 now. All right, so that's the first thing. Make sure that you're looking at the proper market. Make sure you have the proper order quantity. Now, let's go ahead and show you what a simple position looks like. I'm just going to place a buy market order right now. So I'm going to hit the blue button there at the top, and there we go. We're in a position. All right, so now we're long. You can see at the bottom there, the order confirmation, bought one mini S&P 500 at 53.20 and a quarter. All right, so one thing I want to show you real quick, let's click that AMP logo to the right of the blue buy market button. And I'm going to go and click on positions and go to net positions. And you can see there, it shows long one at 53.20 and a quarter. All right, so this is important because you always want to have an understanding of the status of your orders whenever you're actively trading in real time. All right, so one other thing you can do as well, there's a couple ways you can exit the position at the market price. Let's go back to the chart for a second. You can see the position display on the chart. If I click the little X there where it shows 0 USD, or basically break even at this moment, I can close out the trade by simply clicking the X. All right, so now the trade's closed. Now let's click the AMP logo again, and notice now there's no more net position. Now let's go into a short position this time. So now you can see we're short one at 53.20 and a quarter. Now you can click the AMP logo and see the net position. So remember, if you go to individual positions, if you click it, nothing, it just brings up this little menu option here. So you got to actually click on net positions. And the reason why is because if you want to be able to close the position out from this particular window, you need to be on net positions. Because now watch what happens. If I click on the order or the position display, now you can see it's a different context menu that appears. You have different options here. Protect position just allows you to apply a bracket order. We'll go ahead and show you how to do that in a moment. Basically an OCO bracket. Close position is basically closing out position at the current market price, and reversing your position is reversing your position. So if I hit close position, now you can see the position is closed out. All right. So those are examples of how to place simple market orders directly onto the chart. All right. Now I'm going to show you how to place pending orders. Pending orders will be like limit orders and stop orders, for example. So the first thing is you want to activate a crosshair on your chart. And how you activate a crosshair on your chart, you want to hold down your finger on the chart, and then you'll see the crosshair appear. Now you can just move the crosshair with your finger by just simply taking your finger and sliding it on the chart. The reason why this is important is because now you know what price level your cursor is at in order for you to place a pending order at that specific price. So right now, for example, 53.19 and a half. Now it's at 53.19. Notice now there's a little plus sign to the left of it. If I click that little plus sign, this now brings up the available order types that can be placed at 53.19. So because the crosshair is currently below the last trade price, the only available order types that can be placed at that particular price level would be a buy limit, a sell stop, or a sell stop limit. All right, so if you're a trader, you should know that only certain order types can go on certain sides of the market. So for example, a buy limit can only go below the market price, a buy stop can only go above the market price, a sell limit can only go above the market price, and a sell stop can only go below the market price. So here's an example. If I move this crosshair above the last trade price and hit that plus sign now, look at the difference. Now you can see it's sell limit, buy stop, and buy stop limit, because those are the only order types that can be placed on that side of the market. So this is what we call an auto detect function. A really nice feature because it kind of helps prevent you from placing the incorrect order on the wrong side of the market, because if you do that, it's going to fill you instantly, and that's going to be a bad situation, especially if you accidentally prematurely get yourself out of an existing position. So let's move this crosshair down, and now let's actually show you how to place the trade. So again, let's recap. First things first, you want to activate your crosshair. To get rid of the crosshair, just simply tap anywhere on the chart. To activate the crosshair, you want to press on the chart until the crosshair appears, and now the crosshair is activated. Next, move the crosshair to the specific price level where you want to place your order at. Once set, click the plus sign, and then choose the specific order type that you want to apply into the chart from the context menu. And now you can see the order has been placed. All right. So this is a true chart trader using a mobile app, which is very rare on mobile applications. I have yet to see one actually. So this is really cool that TradingView offers it. Now, to modify the order is very cool. So what you need to do is first activate the modification state, is what I want to call it. And how you know what the modification state looks like is you double tap the working order display. So if I double tap it, you can see now it says TP and SL. If to get out of the modification state, just click anywhere on the chart, it goes away. Actually, it's not even a double tap, it's just a single tap. So single tap to get rid of it. I'm not even, that's anywhere on the chart away from the working order display. But if you want to activate the modification state, you got to click the working order display. TP means take profit and stop loss. That allows you to apply a bracket order to your entry position. All right. So first things first, to modify the order, activate the modification state by simply tapping on the working order display until you see the TPSL, which we see right now. Now you can move the order with your finger. All right. Once you are content with the new order price, just release, and now the order has been modified. All right. To cancel out the order, we're going to click the X, and now the order has been canceled out. All right. So that's how you place an order. That's how you modify an order. Let's now place a sell order, and let's also show you now how to apply an OCO bracket order to that entry position. So again, to place an order on the chart, you want to activate the crosshair first. All right, you see the crosshair? Now we're going to move the crosshair to a price that we want to place the order at. Let's say 53.18 and a half. Click the plus sign, and now we're going to choose a specific order type that we want to create. So let's just do sell stop this time. You can see it's a sell stop because it says STP. Now we want to be able to apply a bracket order. And how we do that, we got to get into the modification state. And how we do that is we click on the working order display, single click or single tap. Now you can see TPSL. So this is a short position, right? So if we're going to go short, we're going to have a protective stop loss above the entry price, right? Because we're short. And then we're going to have a take profit below. So first thing, I want to add the protective stop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger, click on the SL and hold it down and drag it to the actual stop loss where I want this buy stop to be. So let's just say 53.19 and a quarter, and there it is. Now keep in mind, once you apply one leg of the OCO bracket, the modification state gets disabled. All right, so now you got to go back into the modification state. Let's click the X's to get rid of those confirmations. All right, and notice now it only says TP. Now I'm going to drag down and release once I'm content with where I want the modification state to go. Or not modification, but the take profit. All right, so now you can see we have a sell stop entry to go short at 53.18 and a half. We have a buy stop that will be applied at 53.19 and a quarter once that short position gets filled, and then we have a buy limit order at 53.18 even. Okay, and now let's go into our AMP logo at the top there to the right of the blue buy market button, and you can go to orders, and I can go to working, and you can see there's my sell stop for one contract at 53.18 and a half. That's our parent order to go short, and those are the child orders at the take profit and stop loss at 53.18. That's our buy limit, and there's our buy stop at 53.19 and a quarter. All right, let's go back. Now remember, this is still working to get filled, so if we want to cancel out the entry order before getting filled, because the parent order has not been filled yet, it's going to automatically cancel out the child orders. As you can see there, that's what we call an OCO bracket order. Okay, and now the order is canceled. All right, so the advantage of using an OCO bracket order, OCO stands for order cancels other, is that if either one of those legs get filled, let's just say, for example, you get stopped out, your limit order is automatically going to get canceled out. Or vice versa, if your limit order gets filled, your stop order is going to get canceled out. So it just makes it a little more efficient managing your position once you get into it. All right, that's how you place trades directly off the chart. Now let's go ahead and show you how to place orders using the simple ticket approach. So we're going to again activate a crosshair. I'm going to click the plus sign, and this time we're going to select create new order. And this is what we call the ticket approach. This is more of a simplified way of placing trades. It just, more the traditional way where you just select, very easy. If you want to sell, you're going to click the sell button at the top. You can see it's very obvious. The color code will change to red. It'll actually say sell at the bottom. Click buy, changes to blue. It'll actually say buy at the bottom. And then you also have your different order types as well. You can see market, there's limit, there's stop limit. So of course, if you're placing a market order, it's not going to allow you to select the price because you're simply executing a market order. However, you do want to make sure that you select your units. Units is also known as contracts or lots, how many contracts you're buying or selling. So for example, I can just click in there, change the value if I want to 2, or I can just even use the little calculator there and just apply a value as well. But I just prefer just typing in the value. I think it's a little easier in my opinion. And you also have the ability to attach a take profit and stop loss before you actually enter the position. So you can see there, for example, take profit, stop loss. There's multiple ways to set the bracket order. I like to keep it simple and use ticks. So for example, that's an 8 tick take profit. That's an 8 tick stop loss. And then you can see you can set specific price. You can set dollar value, and you can also set a percentage value as well. So right now, I'm going to go and just buy one at the market here, and I want to show you what happens. So I'm going to close out these confirmations. Let's go to our AMP logo at the top there to get into our account summary. As I mentioned, it's always important to get into your account summary because you want to know what's going on. positions. We'll go to net positions, and there's our long position. And it looks like we got filled at 5320.75. Remember, we had an 8-tick take profit and 8-tick stop loss. There's our take profit for 5322.75, which is approximately 8 ticks. And there's our stop loss at 5318.75, which is approximately 8 ticks. So you see how efficient that was getting into the position, and automatically the stop loss and the limit order was automatically applied. Not only that, you have an OCO order in place. So if either one of those orders get filled, the other order automatically gets canceled out. All right, now I'm going to click this position display. I'm just going to hit close position, and now the position is closed out. All right, let's go one more example. Let's just do a pending order now. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the crosshair by holding down the, click on the chart, just hold it down until you see the crosshair. I'm going to click the plus sign, and I'm going to hit create new order. And now we're going to go and choose limit as the order type. Let's just change it to a sell this time. So again, very obvious when it's a sell ticket, very obvious when it's a buy ticket. Red is sell, blue is buy. It'll actually say sell. It'll actually say buy. Just pay attention to that. Shouldn't need to. It's pretty obvious, but just want to point it out. All right. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to set the price of our limit orders. So let's just say I want to change the limit order to 53.21. And we'll attach a take profit as well. So we'll just keep it the same, 8-tick profit, 8-tick stop loss. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to look at the very bottom, selling one mini S&P 500, or better yet, micro S&P 500 at a limit order of 53.21, and I have a take profit of 8 ticks and a stop loss of 8 ticks. So this means that when I go short at 53.21, my buy stop is going to be at 53.23, and my buy limit is going to be at 53.19. So I'm going to place the order. Now let's get into our AMP logo at the top. Let's go to orders and let's click on working, and let's make sure everything's correct. So you see our sell limit at 53.21, and there's our take profit at 53.19, and there's our stop loss at 53.23. All right. All right. So now you can also click on the working order display as well, and you also have the ability to modify the order from here as well. All right, so you hit modify order, and it just takes you right into the modification ticket, and just you can change the parameters. Now you can change the price, you can change the order quantity, you can change the take profit and stop loss. And then once done, you hit the modify order at the button, and that will modify the order. All right, and this is pretty much how you place trades using TradingView mobile application. You can either place trades directly off the chart, cancel this order real quick, or you can use the traditional order ticket approach. And this really wraps up the general basics of the TradingView mobile application. One more thing that I want to point out that you might want to consider taking a look at is the trading settings. Let's see, I want to double check where we go to access the trading settings. I believe it's going to be under, hang on a second. Okay, it's going to be, so when you click your AMP logo on the top of the chart, you'll notice where it says AMP demo at the top there. This is actually a good thing I want to point out. So you'll look, if you notice to the right of it, there's a little black arrow pointing down. So if you click that little arrow pointing down, this brings you into different menu options of your broker connection. Okay, so if you go to trading settings, notice that whenever I was placing trades earlier, it wasn't asking me for order confirmations. When you log in the TradingView mobile app, or better yet, just TradingView in general, by default, the order confirmations are activated. So let me actually, you see where it says instant orders placement at the top there? I'm going to uncheck it. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to show you what it does. So when you place an order, you see that? It kind of gives you a confirmation. Hey, are you sure you want to do this? And then it's a second click now. And now I'm in the position. Okay, so that's turned on by default. Even to close the position out, I got to get asked again. Now I can hit close position. Okay, so it's almost like a double click in order for you to enter and close out position. So it's less efficient, but if you're new to the platform, it does make sense for them to activate it right off the bat, because you don't want to just be clicking around accidentally placing trades without you even knowing it. So the activations are turned on for morally safety, and I agree with that. But if you are familiar with the platform and you want to get in and out of position as quick as possible, you want to be efficient, and you're confident in using the platform, to get in there and just deactivate it, click the AMP logo at the top. You'll see where it says AMP demo. Of course, if you're connected to a live account, it will say AMP live. Then you want to make sure that you click the little arrow pointing down. Also, too, here, this is also, as I mentioned earlier, this is a good way to understand if you're connected successfully to your AMP brokerage account, to your TradingView account. You can click the AMP logo and get into the account summary, and it's going to show you your actual account number and show you your true account balance. So that's going to give you visual confirmation that you successfully connected. So going back to what I was discussing, and I click the little arrow to the right of where it says AMP demo pointing down. and you can get into trading settings, and then I can now reactivate the instant orders placement. So there's no confirmations. And then of course you have other options in here that you can go around and mess around with, confirmations. I notice when I'm placing orders earlier, you see a lot of those pop-ups. So if you don't want to see those pop-ups, you can disable them. It's up to you. So it's all personal preference. The main thing is understanding where to go to get into this menu option. Once you make those changes, click OK at the bottom. All right, so one more thing I want to point out as well, you have the ability to change your password, but where it says log out of AMP. So in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that you can log out of your TradingView account on the bottom right corner where it shows menu, sign out. So if you sign out here, this signs you both out of the broker connection and also out of your TradingView account. However, if you go to the actual connection area here, so let's just get back to it real quick. I'm going to click the AMP logo at the top of the chart, little arrow pointing down. And now if you click out a log out of AMP there, that only logs you out of the order routing. So it just disconnects AMP from TradingView, but you're still logged into your TradingView account. Okay, so I just want to point that out. If you're not trading, you're done for the day, and you know for sure you're not going to be using the app, you want to make sure for security purposes that you're not logged in. You might want to consider just logging out of TradingView altogether. All right, and this pretty much wraps up our basic introduction to the TradingView mobile application. Excuse me. If you have any questions or have any problems getting into the app, don't hesitate to contact our 24-hour support team. You can reach us at www.ampfutures.com. We have live chat and live phone support. You can call us anytime. We'll be more than happy to walk you through. We truly appreciate your valuable time. Videos like this are invaluable in my opinion because it's going to help you get acquainted with the software quicker. It's a valuable resource that you could use whenever you want. You can go back to it, watch it as many times as you wish to get more familiar with the platform. And again, if you don't understand a specific feature, you can always contact our 24-hour support team at any time, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through any features of the platform. Otherwise, we hope you enjoy the content. Keep watching our videos, keep supporting the channel, and keep watching our ideas on TradingView's website. Again, thank you very much for listening in. Happy trading.